لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد بالله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين. اللهم صل عليه صلاة تامة كاملة هو وأصحابه الكرام وأزواجه العظام وعلى التابعين وتابعيهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. One of the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam recommends us that we are reading Surah Al-Kahf every Friday. And this hadith was made Hasan by Al-Albani radiyallahu anhu wa rahimahullah. It mentions that whoever reads Surah Al-Kahf on Friday, it will light up his Friday till the next Friday, plus 3 days. So it's a whole 10 days. The thing about the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, when he speaks, he takes the shortest path to give that information to somebody. There was one brother who used to say, Twitter, which is called X.com right now, fancied the idea that we only have 140 characters. So you would give your message in only 140 characters. We said, that's an old idea. The Prophet ﷺ did that a long time ago. He had the shortest line with the most information you can have. You can take one hadith of a few words, and then you bring 5-6 books just to explain that. He just takes a small chunk of thing and puts it. And it's a rule. Because the Prophet ﷺ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes him, وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى. He doesn't speak out of his own will. And just that ayah by itself, وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى. He doesn't say, he doesn't speak for himself. No, he doesn't speak out of thin air. Because anything else is just thin air. Anything else means nothing. It is just no substance to it. And hawa in Arabic could mean air, and it could mean falling down into the nothingness, into the void. So anything else you follow than the Prophet ﷺ will just make you fall into thin air, into voidness. So the Prophet ﷺ says, read Surah Al-Kahf. So what's the significance of that? Of course, we follow this to the T. Whatever the Prophet ﷺ gives us, we take it as is. But we always, as Muslims, are looked after to use their brains. Why? Why this surah and not anything else? Why do we read this every week? And why is it every week? We could just read it. And then we look at Surah Al-Kahf. And Surah Al-Kahf is a bunch of trials. It's chapters of trials. And the first trial that we start off is Ahlul Kahf, the people of the cave. What is the first trial for the people of cave? What is the significance of that? If you look at it, usually the elders are the ones who control the tribe, controls the place, controls the community. Big shot, I'm doctor so and so, I'll be in charge here. And what I say goes, and democracy can go out of the window because this is un-Islamic, we're the eldest. And this is the biggest trial. Because Ashab al-Kahf are the young ones. They're the ones who nobody cared about. But the funny thing, they held the torch of truth. And the torch of truth shines the brightest. Because Nurullah subhanahu wa ta'ala is nothing like it. You cannot compare it to anything else. Your wisdom, your age, your status, your money means nothing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them the nur. So this is the test. They are young. They are insignificant to the community. But that doesn't matter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to give the message out. No matter who's in front of you. No matter who's that eldest. No matter who's that elite. No matter who's that rich person. You are responsible. You're the young one. All those gray-haired people there means nothing. All their status, all their money means nothing. And you do what you have to do for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you meet resistance, that is the first sign of you doing something correct. Waraqa bin Nawfal is the relative of Sayyidatna Khadija radiallahu anha. She was surprised, like the Prophet ﷺ, something is coming to him, he's speaking to him, he's an angel, he's telling him to read, he's illiterate. There's so many questions. So the best thing to do is to go to the people of knowledge. So she went to him and she told him this and this and that. He saw this and his name is so and so. He said, this is exactly what came to Musa alayhi salam. And he gave him the glad tidings that you're on the right path. And then he laughed and he said, I'm an old man. I wish I would be alive when your tribe was going to kick you away and hurt you. And he said, where's that? Where do you get that from? He said, yeah, it's everybody who relate the message. He gets tortured, he gets hurt, he gets kicked out by his community. Right away, he knew that anybody who carries the torch of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to have difficulties. That's normal. Ashab al-Kahf, bunch of kids. How many were they? 4, 5, 6, 7. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how many they are. What matters is the message, is the torch they have. And they strive for it. They said, we relay the message peacefully, of course. They didn't have to, do a revolution or anything like that. And after that, we do what we can. We have this material, we use every part of it. And after that, it's Allah's job. The Prophet ﷺ, he had a few people. He did what he did with those few people. Does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ask more for him? No. He asks your best. If you did your best, that's good enough. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take the rest. In the Battle of Badr, they had 300 people. Plus a horse, a camel. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. What makes sense? Doing your best. You did your best? Yes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took care of the rest. Thousands came with them. You didn't see them. Nobody saw them. But they did their best. If you do your best, that's whether it fails or not, it doesn't matter. We know people in the Quran. We know Salih. How many people came with him when he finished his message? Few. Nuh. How many people came with him? Few. Imagine spending 1,000 years relaying your message and you come with a few. In our terminology, he didn't do a good job. It's just a few. No, he did his best, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked of him, and he became one of the best 5 of the prophets of all time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you for your best. So the first trial that was mentioned in Surah Al-Kahf was the trial of age, of your power. They're young, they still have their power, they still have their rage of the teenagers, and they use it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Surah Al-Kahf reminds you every week, use your age wisely. So this is the first trial. The second trial in Surah Al-Kahf, Sahibul Jannah, the man with the farm. He came and he said, it's my farm. I tilled my farm. I put water to my farm. I seeded my farm. It's my farm. I did all that. It's me. I'm Dr. So-and-so. I strive the night to do so-and-so. It's my effort. I am the president of this company. I built the company from the first penny. It's mine. Everything I'm building here, I'm building this building. This is my building. I built it before you did. You showed up later. It's mine. This is the trial of money and ownership. Is anything yours? Is anything you build yours? Some people have worked harder than you and they don't have 1/10 of you. Why? This is rizq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you should count it as so. Oh, my car is a Ferrari so-and-so, I bought it. No. Don't mistake that. This was given to you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a loan. Why is it a loan? Because when you die, what do you take with you? Nothing. Not your youth, not your muscles, not your power, not your money, not your car, not anything else. This is the biggest trial that you would see in your week. The first one is your age, and the second one is your money and ownership. My kids, I raised them. No. Nuh alayhi salam tried to raise a kid. He's the best there is. He's a prophet. He couldn't raise his kid. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't allow him to. All of this is a rizq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever you have, that time you had in your hand, that money you have in your hand, all of it is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And remember that every week when you read Surah Al-Kahf. The third trial that came in Surah Al-Kahf is the trial of knowledge. I come in, I'm a scholar. I know Hadith so-and-so. I know Quran by heart with every coming up or down and kasra fatha. I know all the qira'at. I'm better than all of you. How can you be better than Musa alayhi salam? They asked him, are you the most knowledgeable? He's the prophet. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to him. He says, yeah, I'm pretty much the most knowledgeable guy there is. That's what he knew. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, there's somebody who knows more than you do. And he goes to meet Al-Khalq. So the first trial is the humbleness. Musa alayhi salam didn't say, okay, I'll be here, let him come to me. Come to Dushman. Harun al-Rashid was the Khalif of the Muslims. He was so mighty that he talks to the clouds and he tells them, wherever you go, I will get the zakah from you to Bayt al-Muslimin. He challenges the cloud. Wherever you're going to go and make rain and zakah is going to come out of you, it will come to the Bayt al-Muslimin that I control. He challenges any cloud that comes to him. So he sends to Imam Malik in Medina because Harun al-Rashid is not only a Khalifa, but he's also a faqih. He knows everything about fiqh and things like that. But he knew that Imam Malik could have more knowledge with him. So he told him, bring him to me so he can teach me more. I want to have more knowledge. And a Khalifa that's strong, you respect him. So what did Imam Malik tell him? Knowledge stays where it is when people come to it. If you want knowledge, you come to me. Not because who I am, it's the knowledge I have. It's the knowledge of the Prophet ﷺ. And I'm next to the Prophet ﷺ. I'm next to his grave teaching his knowledge. If you want to know the knowledge, come to me. And he came to him. He walked from Baghdad to Al-Madinah. And these days we cannot comprehend this distance right now. Walking. And he walked to him. And he went to his masjid and stayed from Fajr till Asr, asking him questions to know if he knows more than he did or not. And then he figured out that this guy is like the ocean. He has so much knowledge, he cannot comprehend it. So he told him, I want your knowledge to be written in a book and distributed all over the Islamic world. So he told him, no, I don't do that. There's many people who have more knowledge than I am. And I decided that I don't write anything. And he told him, as Amir al-Mu'mineen, I command you to do it. So he asked him in a sense, not because he is Harun al-Rashid, just because he's Amir al-Mu'mineen. He wants that knowledge to the whole Muslim world. If that didn't happen, we would not know what Malik was, or all his schools. So, the third trial of knowledge and humbleness, Musa alayhi salam had to walk and do tricks and get a fish and put it somewhere and just to see a Khidr. So you have to know, seeking knowledge is not going to be easy, and you have to try for it. I don't have time for it, make the time. I don't have that money, make the money. Seek that knowledge. Musa alayhi salam had a book revealed to him, yet he still has to go and seek knowledge. And he had to follow in steps that did not make sense. The first, you go on a ship, you are on a ship and you make a hole in it. Does that make sense? At the time it didn't. And then he comes to a kid and he kills a kid. There is no ruling of any prophet that you can kill a kid, because a kid is not accountable for his actions. He did not reach bulugh to have anything written on him. So you cannot kill a kid. This is simple. He killed a kid in front of him. So Sayyidina Musa was shocked. How can you kill a kid? There is no way he's accountable for killing anybody, because the only way you can kill somebody is that if you kill somebody and he's accountable. This guy is a kid. And when he explained to him later what were the reasons, when the knowledge was revealed, then he understood. So that third trial of humbleness and seeking knowledge. And this is the third trial that we have in Surah Al-Kahf. And the fourth trial that comes in this surah is the trial of power. And this is the most corrupting of them all. It's really possible to see a humble teenager. It's okay to see a farmer or some owner that is humble. You could see a person of knowledge that's being humble. But to see a ruler that is humble, it's very hard to see. And the greater power he has, the harder it is to say. Because with that power, and everybody is looking up to you, everybody kissing your hand, everybody's trying to please you, brings you up. And that's what Pharaoh had the problem with. He believed these rivers, I created the river, I created the wealth, I created everything. Because the people keep praising him up. So Dhul Qarnayn had all the means of power. The army, the power, the fighting, and the knowledge. He had knowledge nobody else had. Where does he go? He goes everywhere, east and west. That's the power he had. So when he reached people who were weak, who were not knowledgeable, and the Quran describes them as they could not finish a sentence. They cannot even talk. So he told them. So people will stand like, okay, they can't talk. How did he tell them? They can't talk. How? Well, communication can be in many ways. We've all been to that foreign country that we did not speak a lick of that language, but we communicated. We ate, we went to the hotel. How did you communicate? We figured it out. You have a sign here, a sign there, it works. When he came to them, he didn't say, oh, you're so weak, I don't care about you, let me go somewhere else. No, he helped them against the most strongest power at the time. Ya'juj and Ma'juj. That when we read the hadith about them, they're so strong, even to our day we cannot defeat them. And he could defeat them. So it makes sense if he goes and joins them. Because they're the greatest power and he's really strong, it makes sense. No. He went to the weak people, to the oppressed people, and he helped them out. That humbleness in him comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when he finished everything, he said, this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me. He never said, I did it. This is my power. This is my knowledge. This is my anything. So these trials we are reminded of every week. And we have to read them every week. Because we, throughout the week, will have the same trials over and over again. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us. We just don't read the Quran and just, skim through it. Oh, I memorized Surah Al-Kahf by heart. Yeah, then what? What does it affect in your life? When Sayyidatuna Aisha speaks about the Prophet ﷺ, she says he was a Quran walking on earth. Whatever the Quran is, he's applying it. Right there, without being, a sheikh that, it's like I just speak to people from a high place. It was a problem for people coming to Medina when they go in and there's a gathering and the Prophet ﷺ is there. And they have never seen him before. When they come in, they can't tell who he is. Which one he is. He doesn't sit on even a pillow. He's one of the people. And he is the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right now, if you're just a small sheikh, you just know a few words, you're so big, when I go, it's like, that's the guy. Right away you can tell. Sitting on the big chair with gold on the back, and no. He's never in the middle of the city. He's somewhere. Okay? A young girl can take him by hand and take him wherever she wants, without even telling him where she's taking him. And that's the humbleness of the Prophet. A man who's the leader of all the believers, the president of his country. A girl can take him anywhere she likes. A young girl takes him anywhere. Are we that humble? Are we that easy? Or everybody's scared of us? Oh, scary guy with a beard and everything. So these trials is something that we need to look at every week and comprehend it every week and apply it into our daily life. أقول ما سمعتم وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. We had the best month of the year just passed by, the month of Ramadan. And the month of Ramadan was the month of Quran. And all of us stood over that Quran and read it and tried to understand it as much as we can. But the month of Ramadan is just a reminder. So, whatever you did in that month, you're supposed to continue doing in the rest of the year. Many of us would read at least a juz a day and finish the Quran throughout the month. So when we lie to ourselves and says to ourselves, oh, we cannot do it every day. Yes, you can do it. The proof is Ramadan. We did Qiyam every day and pray Taraweeh. When you lie to yourself and say, I cannot do Qiyam every day, you know that it's not true. We invited people and had that generosity. So when you tell yourself, oh, I don't have time to invite people and have that generosity, you know that you lie to yourself. When you abstain a whole day from eating or lying or cheating or saying or swearing, that's an example that you could do this every day. So don't waste your Ramadan by going back to what you were doing before Ramadan. Go back every day and become the same person that you were in Ramadan, because you are the same person. The masjid is the same masjid that you used to come to and pray in. Keep that prayer. The Quran is the same Quran in Ramadan. Keep reading it. Being nice to others is the same way. Oh, I'm a sa'im, so I don't fight with people. Don't fight with them throughout the year either. That patience inside you, keep it. Because all of that is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Lord of Ramadan and Shawwal and Dhul Qa'dah and all the months. You did for His sake, continue doing it. You did this for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, continue doing it. Because once you do it more and more, it becomes easy. Because Quran is one of the hardest books in the world. Even for the people who speak the language. It's hard. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّا سَنُلْقِيَ عَلَيْكَ قَوْلًا ثَقِيلًا. We will send to you a saying that is so hard. If it's hard, how are we going? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy for you. As soon as you take it and you keep doing it and put your faith in it, it will become easy. People who do not even speak the language would know it more than the people who speak the language. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it easy for you because you had the right intention. So the Ramadan is the example for the other 11 months. Keep doing it and keep steadfast with it. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات. اللهم اغفر لنا أجمعين والحقنا بالصالحين. توفنا مسلمين. توفنا وأنت راض عنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اغفر لنا ولآبائنا وأمهاتنا ومشايخنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر أخواننا في كل مكان، في فلسطين وفي اليمن وفي السودان وفي الهند وفي الصين وفي كل مكان يا رب العالمين. اللهم اغفر لنا أجمعين والحقنا بالصالحين يا رب العالمين. اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم اجعل لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم عدد ما أحاط به علمك وخط به قلمك وأحصاه كتابك. وارض اللهم عن ساداتنا أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعنا معهم برحمتك إنك على كل شيء قدير. أقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا